First things first, I'm always tracking the arm. Okay, can you switch over side for me, actually? Do you mind? There we go. So I'm here. Very first thing I need to worry about is this wrist here, the choking arm, okay? I like to call it choking control or overhook, underhook, okay? Whichever way you want to call it. I like calling this choking arm for obvious reasons. This is the one that's going to come across my neck and try to choke me, okay? I go wrist down, C-grip on the, or sorry, hand down, C-grip on the wrist immediately, because this is the one that's going to reach across the choke. My secondary one is here. I'm almost never going to be sitting here when I do this. I'm going to be on one side or the other, but I'm talking to you from here, okay? What's more often going to happen than not is I'm going to do this and he's going to take me to the choke side, right? Choking arm over hook side. Once I'm here, the general consensus, as far as like simplicity is concerned, is just get your shoulder blades to the floor. I'll put my head down, I'll get heavy. I can re-enter, or we can turn into the guard, etc., right? But I've taught that a million times. It's really boring. So I'm going to show you guys a really fancy one that is not as high percentage, but is very cool. So we're going to go head hunting, okay? My idea here is I want to find the back of his head with like my pinky at the base of the crown of his head. So I'm going to go really far back here and pull his head down. I can't do this until I feel safe to let go of his arm. Okay, so you have to be very careful when we do this that I don't just get choked, reach up and get smoked. So the very first thing I do is still putting my head to the floor and starting to turn, right? As soon as I go to turn in, I bring my bottom hand down to start messing with this foot. I like to pull this up and start to turn. Okay? What often happens is he's going to bring his head forward. Once I'm here, this is where I look for his head generally. Okay? Once I have the head, I have the foot, I have the head. It's going to be very difficult for him to choke me from here, even if I'm on my side, as soon as I bring my hips through. Okay? So this bottom one is generally going to be my pain in the ass. Okay? So he's going to be holding his bottom hook here. I'm going to turn my hips over to clear this one. And I've already got this. If I need to, I'm reaching across to defend choke. So if you've got a really tight choke, we don't have to have the feet. We can play here and do the exact same thing. Throw that hook back in for me right here. I can just bring this over and I'm still defending my choke. Okay? Off of this, my personal preference is to either go between here, if I can reach the foot in there, right? Which is kind of hard for me to hit, or just stomp on it. And then I'm going to clear by bringing my foot through. Once I bring this foot through, my idea is to go face down and run this way. Okay? I'm going to keep his head pulled up the entire time as like a pseudo collar tie and run through, okay? So I'm going to come here, throws his top hook over when I step here. Doing this, and I get to his head, we've cleared the hips, right? I got to run. From here, I'm just up and playing where I want to play. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, I'm pulling the head, I'm running over. So I'm going to do that one again so we can see it, and then I'm going to show a different variation from the other side, okay? We're here, seatbelt in, I'm immediately setting up my grips and falling to my side, okay? I generally, when I do this, need to slide to here momentarily. I don't recommend doing this frequently, but if we pull the head down and we have this secondary grip, it's very hard for him to choke us because he can't extend his back, right? So from here, we are over and through, okay? Off of this, if he's holding on to this, my general idea is to try to get this knee as far over there as possible to here, okay? I clear his hooks, I run to the top, right? Now, let's talk about the underhook side real quick. Something I want to look at here, and this one's a little more cheesy, but fun. Same concepts here, we're falling. He's got the pillow, okay? I can still search the head here and get to this. The problem is now he's has top side attack pressure. It's really difficult for me, okay? I'm still gonna do the same thing I did on the other side. I'm getting to this, and I'm getting my cross up here, nice and deep across here. I have to make sure that I can pull and bring my elbow in. If he's pulling across from here, I gotta come back and switch back to my defense, okay? It's very, very important I don't let him get that arm across. I play to the head control here, right? We're gonna do the exact same escape. I'm bringing my hips over and getting my bottom knee through. Okay? This top hook is generally only the problem if you start to turn your hips over this way. Once I get here, I'm going to turn my knee down and then run it over to get him over to the top. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? Now, what I want to look at here, lay down for me real fast, is just setting up a simple darce off of this or like front headlock entry. So, generally speaking, when I'm running out of here, we're going to wind up in a scenario where we kind of, or like with the arm in or something around here maybe, right? So we're playing to here. as soon as we get to this scenario, my general idea is that he's going to more than likely turn into me. So as he turns into me, my head's behind the head. I want to either trap here to start attacking straight through, or my personal preference is to stay behind the head, bring my inside knee to his hip, and then switch my hips over. Okay? Frames, I'll let him slip the hand in, right? So like in between us, like right here. As soon as his hand slips in, my elbow behind the head, I'm gonna shove elbow in and then punch arm through. Okay? Arm comes through, thumbs up. See, grip the head in, switch to bite. We hit our sprawl through and we can finish from there for the Darce. Okay? I just want you guys to have something you can go to off of the escape. Don't worry as much about the Darce. I want the escape more than anything. Does this make sense to everybody? Anybody see it again? Yeah? Sure. Give it back one more time. So I'm going to go to the choke side. It's more common. I'm here. We're falling. I'm defending. We're playing. Okay? Maybe I'm switching hips, trying to clear. I get to here. Boom, I catch his head. As soon as my hips are clear, I am running over here. Now, this is where, if you're trying to go Darce, it can get awkward because of this. My personal preference here is to hold the wrist and just slip it through. Punching down. Kind of peel that hand off, keep the strip. For the guys who wear gloves, it's really easy because you can get just above the glove line. So the Tony Ferguson thing, you really like the Darces. Every good questions? All set. Cool, ready, 1, 2. Thank you, buddy.